Before we start with the business of the day, may I just ask you to explain the difference between translation due to your experience, translation as opposed to interpretation.
Okay. With interpretation, my lord, what we do is you convey the idea intended by the speaker.
Uma ke utolika sibisa lokho ke okuhloswe iloyo osibe ekhuluma.
And with translation, you take word.
Futhi ke uma khulunywa ke nge-translation ke ila uthatha ke igama ngegama.
And translation is mostly done on documents.
Futhi ke uma khulunywa ke ngo-translator ila khulunywa khona ke ngephepha lokho kufanele kubhalwe phansi.
So in relation, sorry, I'll afford you that. In relation to what you just said about translation and documents, does that also relate to the pro forma that was completed?
The translation of documents, I did not get the question clearly, sir.
So if you define translation as when you translate from word to word, and you further mentioned about documents, so do you also refer to the document that is we are dealing with at the moment?
In this instance?
Yes.
No, my lord. In this case, because there's a speaker, my job is to basically convey the idea intended by the speaker, to interpret, not to translate what the speaker says.
Zana ke kule document esikhuluma ngayo ke manje akuseyona ke i-translation esiyenza ngoba kunomuntu okhulumayo yila udlulisa khona ke lokho okuhloswe ilo okhulumayo akuseyona ke manje utranslate kodwa ke ukutolika.
So during the process of interpreting, from the experience that you have you not picked up a sentence or a paragraph that is susceptible to two meanings?
Yes, I have, my lord.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi ke ekusebenzeni kwami ke uyathola noma ke uyayithola ke isentence ke la kongasho khona ke ukuthi usho okubili.
What is your role as an interpreter in the event that there is ambiguity or there is double meaning on that particular sentence?
As an interpreter, my role would be to get clarity from the speaker, and in so doing, I would obviously ask for the court's indulgence to allow me to clarify from the speaker what they intend saying.
Nanjengotolika ke okwami lapho na ke uzwayo ukuthi lokho awunaso isiqiniseko sokusho ukuthini, kungasho lokho kungasho nalokho, ngiyabuza ke noma ngicele ke angichazele lona, kodwa ngaphambili kokuthi ngikwenze ke lokho ngikhulumisana ke naye ke umehluleli noma ke imantshi ngithi ke nginikeze imvume yokuthi ke ngicele lana ukuthi ngichaze ukuthi kusho ukuthini lokho.
I beg leave to the honorable court for you to read from the statement. It says certificate of interpreter. Can you go to that page, please?
Certainly.
Certificate of interpreter. Can you please, all right, before I ask a question on this aspect, the content of this wording or what is contained in your certificate, has it been explained to the deponent? Did you explain it to the deponent before you attached your signature?
No, my lord.
Lokho okubhalwe lana ukuthi ke manje mina ngoba lokho ubhale certificate saye utolika akusona ke into engichazile kuyena lona benze statement ngaphandle kokuthi ngiyisign.
Do you have the reason why you did not explain it to him?
I do not.
Isizathu sokuthi ngakwenzanga lokho anginaso.
So was it important for you to explain it, or was it an omission on your part to explain it?
No, my lord, because I have never had to explain the contents of the certificate to the deponent or anybody for that matter.
Ngoba akazi ke ngaphambilini sibe khona ke sidinga noma kwenzeke ukuthi le ndawo lena ke la uthi khona ke i-certificate sayo ke interpret noma utolika ukuthi kufanele ngiyitolike kuyo ke owenza i-statement.
From your observation, when you appended your signature on the certificate, did it come to your attention or did it come to your mind as to whether the deponent might be curious as to what you are signing.
If I may ask, my lord, is it only with regards to the certificate?
In regards to the certificate.
No, my lord.
Mina ke kaze kube yonto ke kuyinto efikayo ke ukuthi mhlawumbe ke angafisa ukuthi azike ukuthi yini le ndawo engiyisayinayo.
So the certificate, the person who's making a certificate, okay, sorry, may I rephrase like this? The person that you were engaged to render such services, you were to take to translate or to interpret what the deponent had to say. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Lana ke kwakuwukuthi mina ke ngindlulisa lokho okushiwo yilona owenza ke statement lesi.
Okay. May I ask you to read again the certificate of interpreter, then and ask you to translate it in Zulu for the benefit of accused number 2.
I, Evelyn Tsepiso Mutlaping, certify that in terms of Section 217 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977 as amended, I have interpreted truly and correctly and to the best of my ability with regard to both the contents of this statement and everything said by the magistrate.
Can you translate that in Zulu, please?
Translate or interpret it in Zulu?
Interpret it for me, please.
Okay, mina Evelyn Tsepiso Mutlaping ngiyaqinisekisa ukuthi ke ngokomthetho isection 217 Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977 njengoba iguquliwe ngitolike ngokweqiniso kanti futhi ngitolike okweqiniso nangakho konke okusemandleni ami noma ke nangakho konke okusemandleni ami mayelana ke nako kokubili okubhaliwe kule statement kanye nako konke okukhulunywe imanje.
Okay. So in other words, according to your understanding, this certificate, to your satisfaction, because I've noted that the statement that has been made by the magistrate, can you give clarity to that?
No, my lord. It says here with regards to...
Can you read it again if you don't understand? There's something you mentioned about the statement.
Can I read the whole statement or just that part?
Okay. May I ask the indulgence of the court for all the parties to understand?
Okay.
Yes, to read the whole
statement again.
Okay,
sure. The certificate rather. Okay.
Maybe, sorry, my lord, maybe I'll stop you somewhere where it makes sense or relevance for the question.
Okay.
Where it makes sense or relevant for the question, my lord.
Oh, I see.
Can I just go through the interpretation thereof, my lord? Or should I read in English first?
No, read it in English.
Okay.
Please forget about Zulu now. Ne?
Okay.
Just English.
All right. I, Evelyn Tsepiso Mutlaping, certify that in terms of Section 217 of the Criminal Procedure Act 51 of 1977 as amended, I have interpreted truly and correctly and to the best of my ability with regards to both the contents of this statement.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me stop there. The contents of the statement. Did you underline that?
Yes.
All right. Then we'll proceed further.
Okay.
I just wanted you to note that you said the contents of the statement.
Okay.
Thank you. Proceed.
And everything said by the magistrate.
Yes, and everything said by the magistrate. In other words, I'm subject to correction. You said to the satisfaction of the contents of the statement. Is that correct?
To the satisfaction of the statement, no, sir.
To the satisfaction of the contents of the statement.
I have interpreted truly and correctly and to the best of my ability with regards.
With regards, yes.
Both the contents of this statement and everything said by the magistrate.
Lana ke ithi ke ngitolike kahle ke futhi nangeqiniso mayela ke mayela nalokho okubhaliwe statement kanye nako konke okushiwo yimanje.
Okay. Was the statement according to that interpretation made by the magistrate?
No, please.
No.
No, read. Now, let's read the Criminal Procedure Act first, 217. Because as I understand this certificate is enjoining the interpreter in terms of the act. And when it says statement, it means after everything which has been said and done by the magistrate, which he alleges he has interpreted, and then she signs the certificate after everything has been done, not before. Okay, that's how I understand this.
My Lord, I have a different understanding.
Why don't we read where they talk about the powers which enjoin her to interpret?
I beg your pardon?
An interpreter. Who appoints an interpreter? Who appoints an interpreter? As I recall, it's in terms of the legislation.
That's correct.
That's it. Let's read that first. Otherwise, we'll be here the whole day. Let's read the enabling statute which appoints her. And then we can decide whether she has complied or not. You want us to adjourn, sir?
We can adjourn, my Lord, but may I clarify this aspect? I'm not contesting the appointment per se. I'm not contesting the compliance with the attachment.
What are you contesting?
I'm concerned about the interpretation of the last, especially where she says with regards to the contents of the statement made by the magistrate. That's where my concern is, my Lord. Not about her appointment. If we read it carefully, we can have, because...
No, you're misreading it. I certify, in terms of section 2117 of the Criminal Procedure Act 5177 as amended, I have truly and correctly and to the best of my ability, with regard to both the contents of this statement and everything that was said by the magistrate.
The contents.
Yeah, that's what the certificate says. Both.
The understanding, she will differ with me if I put it like this. According to my understanding, I'm putting to you that the certificate was supposed to say with regards to the contents, both the contents and of the deponent or of the person who was taking a confession. Was I wrong if I say instead of being a magistrate we say the deponent? Was I wrong by saying that?
I think, as far as I can understand your question, sir.
Yes.
With regards to this sentence, it doesn't refer to the contents of the statement being made by the magistrate. It just refers to the contents of the statement and everything else said by the magistrate.
Uma ngifunda lana-ke lana akukhulumi ngestatement esenziwa yimantshi, sithi lana-ke lokhu obhaliwe kusona istatement kanye nako konke okushiwo yimantshi.
Okay, thank you for that answer.
You're welcome, sir.
Then let's get into paragraph 1A. You said it has been explained or it has been interpreted to the deponent. Paragraph 1A.
That is correct.
Can you read it for me, please?
I am a magistrate and that I am not in any way involved in the investigation against him, that I do not work with the police or any other person in this case, and that he can speak freely and without fear in my presence.
Lana-ke u-1A uthi ngiyimantshi futhi-ke angiyimbandakanyeki-ke uphenyo ngakwena noma kuloko okuphenywa ngakwena, futhi-ke angisebenzi namaphoyisa noma yimuphi umuntu okuleli cala leli, nokuthi-ke ungakhuluma ngokukhululekile futhi-ke ungesabi phambi kwami noma ngikhona.
All right. Being an interpreter, if you interpret such a statement, does it not have elements of a promise? Reread it if you want to.
I'm a magistrate and that I am not in any way involved in the investigation against him, that I do not work with the police or any other person in this case, and that he can speak freely and without fear in my presence.
As a conclusion, I don't know if the witness being asked for an opinion, which I think is irrelevant.
Yeah, because
as it is just to
can you get us the Magistrates Court Act, please, where they tell us when and how is an interpreter appointed? There's a section there, is there not?
32 of 1954.
Yeah, let's read it. You have it, sir? Should we adjourn?
It's from my colleague will show it there.
Oh, you wanted to?
Yes.
Okay.
The closest we can get to is section 112.
What does it say? Yeah, you are the principal interpreter in this court. You should know how and when and why you are appointed, Mr. Jonas.
Hands up your question, please.
You want us to adjourn? Yes. Okay, Mr. Chair.